welcome. This is mainly going to be about damage control used in real life business situations. We're going to get just the lowdown of what that is, how it's used, and after you guys learn the basics, we're going to discuss the damage control that we will be doing as a VLM Friday. So real life damage control. Let's just start with discussing if we understand what damage control is, and the fact that in everyday businesses, real life businesses, whether we're talking about large businesses like Google, Tesla, Amazon, or we're talking small businesses that are mom and pop owned. Mom and pop meaning mother and father. So mom and pop small businesses that are local. You just have one little branch, maybe a restaurant. Or you have your own solar company, or whatever it is you do, whether you're a small scale business or a large scale business. Damage control is a very basics. When it comes to damage control, there's a couple of different approaches that gets taken in real life. One of those approaches is a team that's dedicated to damage control itself. This team might be made up of different specialists from different fields, such as a legal expert. So the damage control team might have a member who's a legal expert. The damage control team might have someone who's in PR, public relations. The damage control team might have someone who is in communications, such as social media communications. The damage control team might have an expert in computer coding and programming. The damage control team will have individuals who are their social media team members as well, so that they can reply and engage on social media. So, damage control teams in real businesses aren't just one individual or people from just one area of specialty. Those teams are made up of several groups of individuals. Those of you who followed me personally for a while and have seen Ribbit around will know that he specializes in the business side of the law. His particular areas, because he's got multiple degrees, he's naturally gifted, better than I am in all honesty. He's got his bachelor's in computer science and programming, so that plus his expertise in business law places him in the position where he's often been a part of these damage control teams, and he usually tends to work on small businesses. Small businesses meaning local businesses, the ones owned by our mothers and fathers, the small laundry shop, the restaurant down the street, someone who has their own small solar company or their own small agency that takes care of, insurance. So, small local businesses. And one of the things that they do once they get consulted is they develop a plan. What you don't want is to find yourself in a crisis situation without having had any plan. So the very first thing that we do is set a plan. And in particular, what Ribbit goes and does is he examines the structure of whatever the business is. He discovers the goals and the motives of that business, their target audience. So in this case, you are both our employees. Think of yourselves as the employee of the business, and in a sense also the target audience, because you guys belong to the large VIP community. So if you were the employee and you are part of the business that is now attempting to make a damage control plan, what would your functions be? Your functions would first to be trained, which is what you're doing right now, right here. Those of you here early, how do you get trained for this? The easiest way to train yourselves for this is to know what to look for. And once you know what to look for, when you respond, when you don't respond, and when there is a problem such as a bad comment, a bad post, a bad picture, a bad video, how do we clean and clear searches? And why do these things matter? Why does cleaning and clear searches matter? Cleaning and clear searches matter because what's at the top of your Google search drives traffic to that site. So if you're a business and your reputation is being completely marred by either false news or news about a lawsuit you're facing or bad customer reviews, you don't want yours to show up on the Google search on the first page. Similarly, if you're an individual like SR, you have something going on in your legal life that you don't want to show up on that first page of the Google search. Okay? Very similar to that Google search engine results. We don't want the searches to show up, the most negative of which on Twitter, on YouTube. IG is a little less worrisome, but definitely on Twitter and on YouTube. These are the search engines that we want to focus the most on. And that's where you guys are coming in. You guys are receiving some of the very basic trainings. And I cannot give you all the detailed trainings, but you can learn the basics and you can take them with you. And then today we can begin our action. So, Google, Twitter, YouTube, search results. The easiest way to take care of negativity is either to remove it or to bury it. Removing it is harder when it's not on your own website. If you're a business owner, it's on your website, it's easy, you remove it. You're an entertainer, it's on your website and you're actually around to remove it, you remove it. But if you're not around to take care of it, or it's not on your personal site, things get complicated. What then? What then? What if it's not on your own personal site? You cannot remove it. You bury it. You bury that negative search result. If there are 5 negative search results that are coming up, you work, whether it takes a day or a month, you work continuously to bury those search results. How do you bury it? Keyword searches. The keyword searches are key. On Google search, because we're going to be doing the cleansing, the first thing we want to do is we want to start searching for positive keyword searches in relation to the name Sungri. So we're going to start with learning Google search clearing. So positive search results on Google for the next 48 hours starting marking now. I want to make sure not a single one of you clicks on a single negative Google result. It's very important. While we are cleaning and while we are burying, we cannot increase the digital footprint of the negative link. So 48 hours, no clicking on a single negative link related to Sungri's name. Step 1. Step 2. Begin positive searches. Debut. His first debut album, his first concert, his first tour, world tour. Search for Sungri's collaboration with Alan Walker. Search for Sungri in Japan. Search for the Great Sungri. On step 1, we're starting with Google search clearing. 48 hours. Do not, even if you are tempted click on a single negative search result. Step 1, and I cannot tell you how important that is. Self-control. We are going to be cleaning house. When you're cleaning house, you don't bring more dirt into that house. So if you and I are all on the same page and we decide to search most of Seungri's debut music, his debut album, his concerts, his collaboration with Alan Walker, if we decide on these few things and we keep on searching that, you and me and 50 others, and then you tell your chat room friends and your mutuals, and you get another 50 people, so that's like 100 of us now. If we can get 100 of us doing it for the next 48 hours, that will help clean some of the Google search results. No negativity. It's not going to be a magic wand, because as I said, there are teams dedicated to do this for a career. They get paid to do this continuously, day after day, week after week, months at a time. They finish one project, they take a break, they start the next cleaning project. So this is a never-ending job, but we're going to do at least 48 hours of this continuously because we have lives, but 48 hours of continuous cleaning, please, over the weekend. All right, so that's Google. That's Google. After you're done with the 48 hours on Google, we're going to move on to a step 3. For the step 3 in Google, after having moved on through all of this, this is where you and I are really going to have to be in step with each other, meaning we have to be on the same page, and we need to come up with one and only one keyword search that we want to search together. So if you have a great idea of something related to Seungri that you think deserves attention and deserves to be amplified and celebrated, and it's going to be popular, because it has to be a popular item. It cannot be something that only a few people will like, but not hundreds of people. So this is where you guys come in for this third step. You can DM a VLM, whether it's here or on Twitter, and let us know for the third step. This is what I think would be popular. After we read your suggestions, we're going to pick one. And don't get your feelings hurt if it's not your one, because we're going to have to judge to see and evaluate which one has the most potential to be the most popular search. And then you're going to disseminate, meaning you're going to spread this news all over Twitter. You're going to tell everyone that next week you're going to search that thing on Google. I kid you not. After we are done cleaning, we're going to have everyone go for one and only one thing. So that's Google. Targeted search next, which is step 3. The targeted step is going to be so crucial. So those of you who said yes, please DM Twitter. I know you guys are always wanting to do something proactive, which is a lot of times why you're so frustrated. This is proactive. This is literally you acting as if you're employees of these companies that do nothing but damage control. So do this. DM us and tell us what you think the third targeted step should be for, and I'm going to look for it. Our chief admin F is going to look for it. We're both going to be watching our DMs very closely for suggestions. Don't send it to my personal DM, although I love you guys. Send it to VLM, because this is being organized through VLM, okay? How is that help to bury Seungri BS if you look specific thing on Google or others? So let's answer this. So how will it help bury Seungri BS? Now BS can stand for burning sun, or it can stand for bull, SHIT. Both of which can apply, because In all honesty, both of which applies. So how can it help? You're now talking about news articles. News articles are a slightly different story. Those are harder to bury. So if you're going to search, in particular, Singri news, Singri criminal charge, you want to make sure that the news that comes up is going to be the news articles that are less misinformation and more direct information. Now, a lot of the old articles, and I'm going to say everything that took place pre-trial, are just so full of holes. However, most articles after trial, even if they have been somewhat misleading, somewhat biased, somewhat clickbait, have stuck to the facts because it's really hard to change the facts of a legal case when you're reporting court reports. Those are okay. But how do we make sure those appear and the others don't? It's the same way we discussed not clicking on negative links to SR. And I tried to tell the community this about 2 years ago. Every time you see a negative article, please do not go back. Do not send everybody else to it. If you want to talk about it, screenshot it, share that screenshot to discuss it. But there is no need when that negative article comes out to send the 1001 followers you have, because that's 1001 digital footprints that VIPs created that told Google, this is the article that should be at the top of my search engine. It is our searches and our clicks that determine what is on the top of Google. Google doesn't know what should be on the top. We tell Google what should be on the top by searching for it, by clicking it, by sharing it, by sending more traffic to it. So undoing the years of damage is going to be a very hard thing. As I said, it's not going to get done in a day. So if you want to undo the damage for the news articles, that's going to require you absolutely stop opening any of those old articles. None of those old articles should ever be clicked on ever again. If there aren't already screenshots of it, maybe assign one individual from your community to go there. Once you're done screenshotting it, save it for your chat group purposes and never again go back to it. Number one. Number two, start searching specifically for Singri articles that have more fact-based information. Again, those are usually the articles that come out once the trial started. They might be clickbait. They might be slightly misleading. They might have interpreted things a little weirdly, but they're not misinformation. They're not misinformation. Those articles, make sure that those come up in the searches. Specifically, type in keywords that will pull those up. So you might need to first open one, look at it, and see what keywords there are, including, for instance, Business Mirror. You could literally type in Business Mirror Singri case, Business Mirror Singri trial, Business Mirror Singri hearing 1, Singri hearing 2. Search ones that you know are worth putting on top. Business Mirror would be my number one recommendation because I know it doesn't have any misinformation, it doesn't have clickbait, it doesn't have anything at all that is not either pure law or pure reporting for the case, or legal analysis. It's got law, it's got direct references from the court, and it's got legal analysis, and these are the only things they have. So, number one recommendation to bury the other stuff after you stop clicking on those links is to start doing a whole lot of Business Mirror stuff. After that, again, decide. Some of the articles on Navient, again, they're mostly in Korean, but they are again releasing more real facts. Search those. Open those documents, find the keywords. If necessary, use the word navigant. If necessary, use the name of the author of those. Start pulling those up. It's not going to happen in a day when it comes to those articles. Those don't happen in a day. These are long-term goals that will have to be done because it's been 2 years. 2 years of VIPs helping negativity spread. And I'm not attempting to be mean. I'm being realistic here in real world situation. It was not just people who are, what would I say, suspicious of him who helped those things become popular. It was VIPs as well. VIPs have a habit of opening them and reopening them and opening them again and sharing them and resharing them and sharing them some more. So VIPs are helping increase digital footprints. So first thing is stop. Don't increase digital footprints. We really need to stop. We've done it for 2 years. We don't want that anymore. It needs to end, and it needs to end like now. So no more, no more. If you need to save something, go to your chat rooms tonight or tomorrow. Discuss it within yourselves. Assign one person from your chat rooms to go collect whatever evidence you want to collect for yourselves. And after it's been collected, tell yourselves, no need to even click on that link. Let's forget that link. The reason why you don't want to start on searching news articles quite yet is, first, it's harder to control moving news articles up than it is pulling up other type of articles, even if it is a news article, say about entertainment. So when we're clearing our searches, and after we are done clearing our searches, our target, that one thing that all of us are going to choose, and you're going to DM me about, and we're going to decide if that's a correct one or not, has to be very targeted, and it cannot be news related. Why do we not want it to be news related? We need this to be positive. So even if you're not a VIP, if you're not interested in Stingray, you know nothing about Stingray, this is something attractive to anyone, everyone. Nothing that could be even slightly negative. So the thing that is always targeted to be your one targeted case must be the one that anyone can relate to. So I would like you guys to keep that in mind. Yes, you can also work on the news article side, but don't start on that immediately. The first thing you want to do is clear. So before you begin clearing, if you need to go get screenshots of things right now, organize yourselves. Organize yourselves, okay? Because if we are not in lockstep, if somebody is cleaning and 10 other people are going to the negative links, the cleaning is not going to help. So in lockstep, if you need to go get your screenshots, fine. Give yourselves the next 10 hours to go get screenshots. You can start cleaning after 10 hours. 48 hours. It's going to be 48 hours of no clicking negativity and nothing but positive searches all over Google. After that, we do the targeted, and that should be at least the basics of Google. Once you've learned this basics, I would say once a month or twice a month, you guys can organize within yourselves and go, hey, I need a few of us to go do this again. So that's something that you can do once you've got this basics down. Couple times a month, organize a 24-hour thing or a 1-week thing where you all have, 20 or 30 of you doing the same thing. And it will eventually help. It won't help immediately. So this is Google. Naver browser works very similar to Google in that instance. You can use the same strategy there. There's only one thing with Naver that I cannot guarantee, mainly because it's Korean controlled, is how their algorithms work, for instance. I'm more familiar with how Google's algorithm works, mainly because Ribbit has worked with cleaning Google searches. But Naver, I know it's similar, but I don't know the exact nature of its algorithms. Ribbit also isn't as familiar with Naver's algorithms, but I do know because it is similar, it should have at least some effect, if not the same amount of effects. But again, you do want to make sure that when you're taking action, that you begin on one platform, move on to the next. So if you want to try Naver next, here's my suggestion: 48 hours of cleaning on Google, take a day break, 48 hours cleaning Naver, take a day break, come back, target its search on Google, because we're going to have to choose that one thing. So it's going to take me at least a day or two to choose that one thing and spread it all over. So while I'm choosing the one thing for everyone to target, you take a break and you start cleaning Naver. By the time you're done cleaning Naver, we should have the one thing we've decided on, and you'll spread that across everything you possibly can on Twitter. Seriously, everything. For those of you who have several K followers, this is what you can do. This is really productive. This is what you can do. And again, as I keep saying, businesses have entire teams that do nothing but this. This is their job. So act as if you are a business or employee. With Google, we've discussed how to move on to Naver for those of you who are willing to go there and do that. So here's the plan again: 24 to 48 hours from now until 48 hours are over. Not a single one of you or any of your mutuals are allowed to click on any negative Sungri related link. Just do not do that. Instead, if you need to, and this is only if you must go to something to save it, talk to someone in your chat group, assign that person to go, give them a certain amount of time frame, 5 hours, 10 hours, get it done, save everything. After that, we're cleaning. So make that decision with yourselves. Share it with your mutuals, and then start it. Then there's going to be a break. You're going to move on to Naver. You're going to clean Naver. There's going to be a quick break. We're going to decide on our targeted search on Google. Alright, so that takes care of Google and Naver.